The Redmi A5 just dropped, and if you're thinking about picking one, there are three things you should actually care about. The first one is the price, the second one is the battery, and the third one is the design. Anything else, you might as well get a new phone. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's see if this device is worth your money. Let's start with the unboxing. We've got the Redmi A5 itself. It looks sleek, and you also get a USB-C cable, then a 15 watts charging brick, and of course a clear case to protect this device. So let's move to the display. You're getting a 6.8 inch IPS LCD display. It's solid for a budget phone. I know it's not OLED, but it does the job. It's good for media consumption, browsing, watching social media videos, and the 120Hz refresh rate makes everything smooth. You won't even know there's a 4GB RAM on this phone. Gaming is smooth. It's not the best, but I said smooth. Casual gaming especially. The phone is responsive. The UI is clean too. The device also comes with a 720p resolution. It's common in this price point. If you're used to full HD or 4K resolution, you might notice a little difference when you're watching videos, especially in high quality. Brightness levels peak at 450 nits, which is good indoors, but if you want to use the device outdoor, you might actually struggle. Doesn't mean you won't see, but if the sun is really high, you might not see things well on this device. For the bezels, they are a little thick and it comes with a U-notch, but it's normal for this price point. It reminds me of the same design the Galaxy A26 comes in. The only difference is that this is a budget phone, that's a mid-range phone, so I expect bezels and U-notch like this. For the design, the Redmi A5 is slim, light, it weighs about 103 grams. Most phones in this price point weigh more. And this color I have here is called Ocean Blue. I think it looks good. I like the pattern. Even though it's made of plastic, it feels premium in a way. The A5 back is quite solid. You get the typical Xiaomi build, which is sturdy enough for everyday use. This back reminds me, especially the camera model, reminds me of the iPhone 16, just that it's a little bigger. Or even the Galaxy A series, the A26, the A36, that new camera model design. The fingerprint sensor on this device is side mounted, which is common in this price point. But I would say it works well, it's fast, and there's no delay with it. The device is also dust and splash resistant, although it's not high enough. It's IP52, so just limited water and dust protection. Practically just splash. You can immerse or do anything. For the chipset, we get Unisox T7250. I know when everybody hears Unisox, they are running away. It's a budget processor, but it's still good. I think it has an Antutu score of 264K, which is, it's not bad for the price point. You can expect decent performance from this phone, things like browsing, social media, light app usage. It can handle it very, very well. You can even play light gaming with it. Games like Call of Duty, it handle it well. For RAM options, we have the 3GB RAM and 4GB RAM. The 3GB RAM comes with 64GB storage. The 4GB RAM comes with 128 storage. I would advise you to go for the 4GB RAM. Even this 4GB RAM, there's no assurance that if you load it with apps, it won't hang. Believe me, it will hang. So imagine going for 3GB RAM. We also get a dedicated micro SD slots for you to expand your storage. Let's say your 64GB or 128GB is not enough. You can put a 1TB SD card. But the problem is that if you overload this phone with files, believe me, it will hang. For gaming, this phone can handle casual gaming very well. It doesn't lag. You can play Call of Duty at medium graphics and high frame rates, and it plays it very well. Multitasking would not be the best on this device if you download a lot of apps. Phones like this are made to just have little apps, mostly for phone calls, long battery, and light usage. So if you want to enjoy multitasking on this phone, just don't load a lot of apps. Don't use a lot of apps at the same time. If you do that, it will be a breeze. The Redmi A5 comes with a 32MP AI main cam and shoots 1080p videos at 30fps. The 8MP front camera handles selfie decently and it records at 1080p too. I would say the camera is not the best feature of this phone, but check out the photos and videos I took and you decide yourself. For software on this device, you're getting Android 15 Go. It's a stripped down version of Android 15. It's lighter because of the RAM option on this device. That's why they use Android 15 Go, so it won't lag and it helps with the performance. The HyperOS on this device is clean and responsive. It gives you that familiar Xiaomi feel. You get things like screen recording, but there's no floating window or sidebar. But it's quite expected in a device in this price point. Now, one thing that surprised me about this device is that there was minimal bloatware. Yes, there were pre-installed apps, but not a lot. In previous Xiaomi phones in this price point, you see a lot of ads, like it's like rockets. You click one app, it's popping up to another one. One app launcher is launching one stuff. It's crazy, but with this one, it's smooth. I guess that's why the OS is a little intuitive. It also has virtual RAM. If you have the 3GB or the 4GB RAM, you can use your storage and get some extra RAM. But if I was you, I wouldn't expect much from this because the 3GB comes with 64GB, the 4GB comes with 128 storage. So you'll be getting like 2 or 3GB extra, and that won't do much. For updates over the years, Xiaomi promises 2 major Android updates, which is solid for your device in this price point. More devices in this price point don't get any updates. So it's on Android 15 Go, you can go up to Android 17, which is cool. So now let's move to sound. Now, something surprised me with this device. I don't get surprised much these days because phones are almost the same. Half of the time it's just RAM or a new display or something. But this device has mono speakers and it's at the top. Now, when I first saw this device with the top speakers, I was like, hey, it has stereo speakers. But guess what? The speakers are at the top, but they're very loud. It's not something you see regularly with devices. Now, the good thing about this is that if you're gaming, your hand doesn't block the port, so you can actually hear music loud. So let's move to battery and charging on this device. The battery is one of the selling points of this device. It comes with a 5200 mAh battery. It's a massive one. You can use this phone for a day or two. If you're a light user, at least 1.5 days or 2 days. If you're a heavy user, at least 16-18 hours. For the charging, it comes with a 15-watt charging brick. It's not the fastest. If you want to charge from 0 to 100, it takes about 2 hours. But with the battery capacity, you don't get to charge that much, so 15 watts is not that bad. Now, one thing I noticed is that this phone is not power hungry, especially because of the display and the Android edition. Now, if you're someone that is a light user, you will actually enjoy this phone. YouTube, TikTok, making phone calls, light usage generally. For connectivity, we get 4G, which is not the fastest. Most devices this year comes with 5G, but I'm not sure there's any device in this price point that has 5G. The closest to it should be the A06, but that's expensive. Maybe because of the chipset. The device comes with dual SIM, a dedicated micro SD slot, supports Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.2, solid for wireless audio, file transfer, and pairing with accessories. Bluetooth 5.2 is more stable and power efficient than older Bluetooth versions. And yes, it still has FM radio. So if you have headphones, you can plug in and enjoy yourself. Most phones in this price point, or people that buy phones in this price point, actually use radio. So if you're thinking, yuck, a radio, maybe it's not for you. Another thing to note is that there's no NFC, so there's no tap and pay. But most countries that will buy this phone don't use tap and pay. The only countries I think use will be countries like Kenya, India. Nigerians don't have tap and pay yet. So as usual, pros and cons before I give my conclusion. I think the biggest pro on this phone is the OS. Android 15 Go. It's clean, it's light, and you get 2 years upgrade. Another pro should be the display. It's colorful. Surprisingly, it's colorful. I didn't think it would be this colorful. 6.8 inches. It's an LCD panel, but it's colorful. The battery too is another pro, 5200 mAh battery. It's easily one of the biggest battery in this price point. The build quality too feels very durable. I like the aesthetics. I like the fact too that it has dual SIM and a micro SD slot. Most brands are removing micro SD slots from phones these days, so I guess it's a pro. So let's move to the cons. The first con, 720 display. It's not the sharpest, especially for this large screen, 6.8 inches. You would expect at least a 1080p display in 2025, but I don't know. Another con is charging speed. 15 watts is quite slow. Yes, I know the battery is really big and the phone can last you 2 days, but let's say I'm in a hurry and I need to charge my phone. Believe me, 2 hours is a lot. I think my final con is the Android 15 Go edition. Yes, I expect it from a device with this RAM and this price point, but this is really stripped down. Like, a lot of things are not on this phone, like no floating window. Okay, multitasking should not be an option, but I don't think I want to use a phone that uses the Go Edition OS. So for my conclusion, is this phone worth your money? I think it is, funny enough, but it's a mixed feeling. There are a lot of things going for this device. The display, surprisingly, is colorful. The build quality is good. The camera is okay for the price point. The battery is amazing. Chipset is but I know it's a budget phone, so I shouldn't be expecting too much. The price is right though, 99,000 naira, less than $100. But there's no but. Overall, I think it's a good device. I think it does what it's made for. Phone call, light usage, not too much. At least you can play game with it. You can use social media, and it hasn't lagged so far, although I'm not loaded with a lot of apps. So I would say it's a good device. I think if you're looking for a budget phone that you don't want to do much with, like a second device, this is one to look out for. So as usual, like, share. Let me know what you think about this device. Let me know what you think about my review. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.